What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, GST JP in the house. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of mail from my last video response and stuff. You know, you guys are tripping, right? Because the only thing that in that video that said anything about African Americans was they wish they were part of the coolest people or coolest race on this earth or something like that. And that definitely to the ears of all African American brothers and sisters, they're probably thinking that it's us. But I'm gonna tell you something though. Reggae is bigger than hip hop in Japan. It probably always will be. Okay, them girls dressed up in their hair and stuff like that. You know, most of that stuff is reggae. You know what I'm saying? All from Jamaica and stuff. You know, and they love Jamaica. They love them Jamaican brothers and stuff out here. You know, African culture is very, 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 very embedded in Japanese history, okay? You know, before we were even even became slaves in America, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you know, it was all about Africa. You know, you guys getting upset and saying all this stupid stuff and things and getting upset. And they ain't even thinking about your culture and stuff like that. You know, the sprint, like somebody said, you know, that was the bulk guy, that was Jamaican and stuff. These girls, even my wife's sister, she wears those thick braids with that scarf and things, that cloth and stuff around her head and stuff. There's a lot of Japanese girls out here that's doing that. You know, and they love reggae, love reggae. You know what I'm saying? They love reggae. You talking about you from Jamaica? Like, he told me in Marina Part 1, she like, you Jamaican? You know what I'm saying? She didn't even, man, y'all tripping and stuff, you know? And then it's like talking about I'm a hater. I'm like a KKK and stuff. I don't go around talking about I hate black women. I never said no stupid ass shit like that. You guys got this shit plastered all over YouTube and stuff. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is they wanted to talk about, if they wanted to say anything about African American, you know, African American, then, you know what I'm saying? They could have did all those other things. They got plenty of stuff they could use. Just look on YouTube and bam, it's all over YouTube. All over YouTube. You know, I ain't even got to say it because you guys know what's on there. You know what's on there. All I'm just saying is they emulating African culture. Somebody was saying like, oh, well, people just don't walk around with spears and stuff. They got a lot of tribes out in the villages or wherever they live at, living in the land and stuff. They got their cows and cattle and stuff and walking with spears and stuff. That's India. That's all over the world. You know, people ain't got to walk around with no fucking AK-47s and fucking Glocks and shit, because they ain't nobody out there trying to shoot them. You know what I mean? Them girls will run around with bloods, acting like Bloods and Crips and stuff like that. Then, why are they doing that? Why not? You know, you've got Bloods and Crips out here in Japan. We got low riders and stuff like that. You know, I got them on my videos and stuff showing you what they doing. You say, well, you know, they're not being stupid with it. You know, but, you know, now Bloods and Crips ain't a black thing anymore. It's whoever wants to be one. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I read the one video called Sea Walk. It's a way of living or something like that. And that one dude, that one light-skinned brother and stuff, he was like, hey, you know, you can't get mad because the brother and the kids took it out of the hood and spread it around the world. You know what I'm saying? So you guys gonna, you know, I'm gonna get a lot of this mail and stuff, but I ain't gonna be replying to too much of that stuff. I'm gonna get tired. You know, you guys, all I'm just saying is that video had crap to do with African Americans, okay, as far as I'm concerned. You know, it's all about Africa, the girl with the thing in her lips and stuff. People out there doing that. You know, it's a culture, it means something. It's not just crap, you know what I'm saying? Maybe to us African Americans, it is because white men have fucked us all up, or not fucked us up, but fucked y'all up, or whoever thinks it's fucked up and stuff. You know, but they got a reason why they doing that stuff. You know, walking around with spirits and stuff. You know, back in the days, that's what they had. You know, them the Africans came over to South America and stuff. They got them. They got the spirits and stuff mixed a certain way. You know, with the gold and all of that stuff. You know, that stuff. You know, they know exactly where that stuff came from. That they found down in there. People you can talk what you want. You know, I don't care. All I'm saying, you guys just getting upset for anything, and then you guys. Like, okay, so then they dress in black and stuff like that, you know, and then half of the people just, you know, ain't even thinking that everything, not one of them, nothing on that video that I saw represented anything about black America, you know, except for just being the coolest race. You know, and then, you know, I'm gonna say it again. You know, what give us the audacity to think that African Americans are the coolest people on the fucking earth? You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's what I'm saying. You know, we think we cool, but we don't own shit. We don't own jack shit. You know, when I left 16 years ago, you know, brothers and sisters was loving each other. It was a time before I left in LA, you meet a girl and stuff, and when you leave and stuff, you get a kiss. You guys can kiss each other. You know, you guys can kiss each other. You guys can't even do that now. When I left for LA, man, it was on. Now I'm going back. I went back, and hey, you know, I was getting loving, you know, from sisters, white people and stuff, you know. So I left, and it was one way, and I came back, and it was still the same. So I don't know what you guys are doing out there. I don't know what you guys are doing out there. But you guys just totally need to listen to my video again, because all I'm saying is them girls probably wasn't even thinking about African Americans. You know, they weren't even thinking. Nothing that I saw on the video had anything to do with African Americans. You know what I'm saying? And for y'all to get on there, y'all just need to wait for the Africans and the Jamaicans to get on there and make their comments and see how they felt about it, and then you make your comments and stuff. Because I'm sorry, but you know, I think they're just totally referring to Africa or Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Africa and Jamaica, and not America. And that's just the way I feel about it. Okay? That's just the way I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can go on and make y'all comments, whatever you want. I'm just going to read them. You guys, you got to listen 2 or 3 times, because a lot of people don't listen. A lot of people just read something or hear something and get 2 words and bam, you know, they ain't paying attention. You know, and that's what a lot of people are doing, you know. I'm just saying this. I don't think that video had anything to do with African Americans, period. And y'all talking about black culture and stuff. Well, I'm black. Well, Africans call themselves Nigerians, or they call themselves from Ghana or wherever countries they from. Jamaican people say they from this country. You know, and other black people around the world, they say they from this country. We're the only ones that say we're black. Where you from? I'm from America. I'm black. You know, and of course everybody knows black, but a lot of people, before they just say they black, they gonna say they country. Then they'll say black. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, look at KRS-One. Look at his nose. You know what I'm saying? Look at him. You know, he's a handsome black man. You know what I'm saying? But look at his nose. They got a lot of these Japanese women, especially some of these older women, some of these young girls, they got lips bigger than mine out here. Thick lips. Thick, beautiful lips. I was just talking to this one girl today. You know, she's like 29 years old. She has some lips just as big as mine. Just as big as mine. They got girls out here with wide noses and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But you guys just watching TV. You got to get out here. Look. And if you want to see women, guys or people like that one person that with the Afro face, you go look at people that's overweight and stuff. And look at them. You know, look the same. You know, you guys what? That's ugly? Was that ugly? That's not ugly. You know what I'm saying? It's not ugly. There's no such thing as an ugly black person. You know what I'm saying? We all came from them. You know what I'm saying? So y'all think what you want. Y'all make your comments, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to still be making my Do You Love Black Men videos. And I'm going to be having some fun out here. You know, and I'm talking to all these girls. I don't care where they coming from. You know what I'm saying? I'm having fun. You know, you guys just get upset because somebody wanted to portray something, you know. But how do you even know? It could have been brothers filming that thing, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, you know. But like I said, you know, let the Africans and the Jamaicans say something first, you know what I'm saying? Because there was one comment on here, this one African girl, she said she wasn't offended by it, you know. Why are you going to get offended by it, you know? There's nothing to get offended by, because they ain't talking about you. If you're African American, they ain't talking about you, and that's what I think. Now, if you think they talking about you specifically, then let me know, because I don't think they're talking about you, period. Okay? And you can just go on and jump yourself into a conflict if you want, but I think the door's closed to us. Period. I'm out.